left-hand path for almost 2 years now. And I have offering time. I light candles and incense and give blood, but sometimes I feel I'm not doing enough. What would you recommend?
Okay. So, yeah, that's so common as well, because you're just so inspired and you just love it so much, and you love him so much, or her, you got her so much. And so what I like to do is I build this into a practice, right? You've got to create a lifestyle, or like anything in life, you've got to build a practice around this. So every single morning, especially when I'm in certain spots in the world, like if I'm back home in Sydney, even now, like this morning, soon as I got up, toddling into my altar space, and I'll flop down. Now I'll light some incense and I'll light the candle there. And then I'm just in gratitude, right? Depending on what's going on, I'm just in gratitude. Sometimes I'll just blurt out all these gratitude things. Other times I'll open my book where I have set prayers or rituals. Sometimes, especially when I'm doing a lot of healing work for people, I'll be asking for healing. But I'm just sitting there and spending maybe up 5 minutes, maybe half an hour. And then I will do a meditation ritual where I'm just sitting there in the space. So by the time I do that, I feel I've really exhausted all the energy I want for that situation, and I feel like I've done my bit. So it's really that time, and I feel like time is it's a commodity that we will never get back once it's spent. So when we're spending that time with our deity, I feel like that is as an offering. So just do it consistently. I suppose that's what I'm saying. A lot of people will just do it when they need it. But it's like, if you're practicing Christianity or Islam, or if you're a Buddhist, or if you're doing a yoga practice, it's every day, and you're building up that magical muscle. And that way you feel confident. So when you've delivered your praise or your ritual, whatever you're doing, you're feeling like you've done enough. And you know that you've got to do it tomorrow. Like I don't have, it's just like some days I want to read poetry, not poetry, but I'll be reading the prayers. Or, I'll find a really good incantation and I'll just be sounding it out. And it's, sometimes it's not that I feel vulnerable, but I just feel like I have an audience with Father. And so I'll sit down there and I'm blabbing away or doing whatever, or I'm just in silence, silent meditation. What I do is just open up. I make sure I open up from the top of my head to the universes. I'm receiving the energy, of course, with my right hand. So my right hand will be up, you know what I mean? And then sometimes both my hands are up. My tongue is on the top of my mouth, connecting me. So, and then I'm focusing on my third eye. And I'm sitting there and I'm really connecting and I'm grounding and I'm channeling all of this energy. And so when I finish these rituals, I feel just full, really, really full. So much so that all the energy I've drawn, I will push down, like, my classes, I'll say, I ground it literally with my hands and I'll push it into the ground. Depending on your background, maybe you'll have cakes and ale, or maybe you'll just, have your breakfast. But that's what I do.
Yeah.
Did I answer that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how has your life changed for the better from practicing the left-hand path?
I feel like I don't have the need to please people. So my confidence, and I feel like I've self-actualized on so many levels where I don't feel needy. I don't feel like I need something from another human. Of course, I love the other people in my life, but I don't have that human desire to have acceptance or another emotional state from another human, because I'm getting everything spiritually. So my vessel is so spiritually fulfilled, and I'm so happy that I feel confident and I feel loved. And therefore, the other individuals I have in my life, I don't have that expectation of them. Does that make sense? That to me, is really probably one of the largest gifts, because otherwise, in other type of religions, we're always waiting, or we're always trying to please, And we don't have that in our path because, you know, it's okay. We're always growing, and it's okay where you're at now. And it's always about acceptance anyways. You're pretty good as you are. And if you want to learn some more, that's pretty good too. and so, but it's just acceptance. And then you realize, wow, I'm the eternal student. And you accept that as well. And it's quite humbling, but you feel just, okay, I know my lane. I know I'm happy. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I made 3 humans, so that was pretty cool too.
Cool.
My crazy ass.
Do you use magic in your cooking?
Oh, yes, I do sometimes. Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty kitchen bitch sometimes. Yeah. I have, I'm looking out at my kitchen now. I've got bottles everywhere. So there's no doubt, if you're a visitor in my home, what I do for a living. Of course, I've got my demon temple, but I've got just hundreds and hundreds of bottles and herbs, and I'm always throwing something in, or even if it's a general spice. Say I'm just adding some chili or some cinnamon or whatever herb I'm adding. I'm thinking of the properties of that herb and I'm adding it.
Awesome.
To everything. But yeah, cooking is so, especially when you're cooking for other people, it's or even yourself, it's such an act of passion. And I believe the energy that you put into your food is what you basically put into your body, and that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Put a smile on your face, even if you're making toast with peanut butter, do it with love.
Yes. My question is where to source valuable information on the jinn when you don't speak Arabic. I've been doing research on this topic for 6 months, and a lot of material is low quality. I mostly rely on personal gnosis with King Paimon.
So what's the thing about the jinn? So it's different. The jinn and King Paimon are 2 different things.
Where to source valuable information?
That's really hard. Like, let's start that. It's good information on the jinn, because the jinn can appear in all different ways. So like, what exactly are you wanting to know about the jinn? They're trickster spirits, and they're tricky, and so they can appear. It's hard. It's like telling ghost stories. There's no set information on them, like, because they can behave in different ways. They're tricksters. You can't control them. So people that say, okay, I've got a jinn in my back pocket and it does what it wants, I'm just like, it's like having a Tasmanian devil in your handbag and you say, sit boy. It's you can't do that. Well, it's like a demon too. It's just like us who practice it, we find it quite offensive. You don't lock a demon in a vessel, right? And all of that type of crap. But the jinn itself, for example, I have a personal experience with the jinn in one of my properties back in Australia. My husband, the Muslim, was sleeping next to me, ex-husband, and he's reading out the Quran, and of course I'm snoring my head off. No, I don't snore, but I was just laying there. And this black figure, and it come up as a mist. So it was a mist, and it sort of like has this form. He knew it wasn't, he knew it was a jinn, because this is a house I've done magic in, or since a young child as well. And so this jinn pops up from, the base of the bed and hovers above him as he's reading. And he's a big man. I mean, he's 6 foot something, and he's quite a masculine, muscular sort of dude. And still, he said he hid under the blanket. So the jinn went away. And so the idea of even reading the Quran and the jinn's going to disappear. I mean, that's just all bullshit. So of course all the books are written by the heroes, so it's like, it's hard for me to answer your question, because I have to know what specifically about the jinn are you trying to learn? What do you need to know about them? Why do you need? Are you trying to do a spell to capture one? I would just say that's near impossible. Or if they allow you to capture it, they're just playing with you. You're never going to hold a jinn.
Okay. I am 16. And I feel that Lucifer's power is in my heart, and I want to know more about theistic Luciferianism. But the only problem is my English isn't my native language, and I speak Arabic. I can't buy or read a lot because of my family. How can I learn and connect with Lucifer?
So that's one of the most beautiful things about our path, is that you don't have to put up a shrine. You don't have to do anything out there to feel connected with Lucifer. I would, especially being 16 and probably living somewhere where the practice of this could mean death to you, or ostracizing from your family cutting you off. And so you don't want to do that. You really want to just go with the flow, so to speak, until you're of an age where you can look after yourself. So to connect with Lucifer, all I would do, okay, there's two things. If you can draw us his sigil and just chant his N, that is wonderful. But if the drawing of his sigil is going to mean your mother pops in the bedroom while making your bed in the morning and she finds it, what you can do is kind of like what we do for the Nordic gods back in the day, so Viking style magic, where you use an oil or even some blood, and it doesn't have to be directly visible to be powerful. I would just draw that, get any oil, olive oil in the kitchen, and just draw his sigil on your bedpost, on your doorway, maybe on your mirror, somewhere that you know it's actually there. And then you can chant his N, right? And this is just getting you into state. So you can use Buddhist philosophy and chant it 108 times just to connect you to a meditative state. And then just put forward your love and your ideas and what you're thinking for that day. Form this friendship with Lucifer. Just open your mind and do it, as I said, consistently, so you are really building up a relationship. It's not just trying to be a little gothic, which I'm not saying you are being that. And people think, well, you can't see it. Is he going to respect that? But we have to remember all of these sigils, even in pranic healing or Reiki, or it's all about the sigil itself. So even when we're the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagrams and the inverted pentagrams that we're drawing in the sky, these are all invisible antennas to the spiritual world. So don't feel like because you literally can't see it that it's not effective. Does that answer that?
That's beautiful advice. Yeah. And absolutely, with all the healing sigils that we use, I use Reiki, you use the pranic healing. It's done in the air. You don't have to have a physical symbol, and it's very effective. So this is worded, hello, with Lucifer being the bringer of light, wouldn't it be wise to utilize white candles on his altar along with red and black to draw the most power from making contact with him through the altar, which of course has his sigil as a centerpiece? I'm new, but I've been using white candles on a black cloth and it has been working for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. Firstly, it's whatever works for you, 100%. So anything that you read online, including our website or any of the others, it's just a launching pad for you. When you get into this, like Lucifer for me might like peacock feathers and his Lucifer oil and his red wine, but for you, maybe he wants a piece of lamb and white wine. He will, other demons will also, especially Clunic, Lilith sometimes, will change it up. It's almost like, don't just follow what you're reading online, get personal. So what you're doing with the white candles and getting the results, that is absolutely perfect. In fact, what we do in our Book of Shadows, Vlad, who's in Canada actually, and just Satanist, he's so he uses a lot of white. So depending on the different spell, it might be so many white candles or it might be so many red. So we do use that. We just don't follow the Satanic Bible in our rituals. It's once again, that's only a launch pad, and that's really what they do. But as a practicing witch, we're really going to use a color that's symbolic and energetically symbolic with us. So, when you think about it, in the USA, in Canada, the color of money, actually, I can't say that. Is Canadian money green?
It's all
I think it's
different
like
colors.
the USA money, isn't it?
It's different colors.
Oh, it's different colors. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so in America, it's a greenback, right? So everything's green. In Australia, it gets lots of different colors too. And but in China, when we're thinking about money and money magic, it's gold. So you're going to use the gold candle. So my advice, if someone was over there, to use the gold. Where in the USA, I say use green. But then again, we got to remember all of this color in candle shit is just new anyways, because back in the day, well, not even back in the day, we didn't have different colors. They were all white. So people need to relax a little bit on that.
Yeah. I'm new to witchcraft, and this may be a stupid question, but I was wondering if you could tell me what the difference is between an ingestible potion and an herbal tea. And if there is a difference, do you have any books that you recommend on the subject?
Well, a potion's like a spell. Like I'd say it's a spell. So a potion's a spell, and it's probably for something special. So you write down your petition. So say, for example, I want a boy to fall in love with me. And then I would, I use cardamom seeds or love drawing type of herb. And I'm going to be crushing that up, saying my incantation, and I'll put it in wine or something like that. And that is a potion. So that's kind of a one-off depending on what the petition is. When we're talking about teas and botanicals, that's something very different. So I will probably have some level of herbal tea every single day. And some of them are for divination type of teas. Other of them just because I like the flavor or it makes me feel a certain way energetically. So like peppermint is a great tea to energize me. Green tea, I don't drink that ever pure. It makes me absolutely sick. So I always add hibiscus flowers to it. But so to answer your question, it's a different level of spirituality. It connects you to a different place, a different level, but it's very different from a potion, which is a spell.
Perfect.
And I don't drink my own potion.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Give that to someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have any books that you would recommend for them?
For potions and things, I like Cunningham's, what's his book that everyone knows what I'm talking about right now.
The Incense Oils and Brews. And
yeah, him, and he's got like basically his herbal magic book.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, and in some of his different books of shadows, I don't know what they're called, the different titles. I've read a lot of them over the years. He includes different potions and different healing blends for teas as well, like the differences. And he discusses all of that as well in some of his books.
He's probably my favorite, actually. He got a bad rap over the years, but I feel like some of these founders of Wicca have really, it's like the ABCs, and they've really created the alphabet for everyone else to go on a tree.
Yes, absolutely. There's one last question, but we can leave it.
That's fine. I've got juice on my computer and I'm ready, and I've still got wine. So go ahead. Ask me a crazy one.
The last one is, what are some of the strangest things that clients have requested that you do spells for?
Craziest. I mean, we get like about 300 emails every day. And so, Lady Hannah, Blonde Gypsy, Edwin, Miss Melinda, cull a lot of stuff. Now, probably you guys out there that want me to change you into something else, please change me into a baby girl. Please, I want to be, your sexual fantasies. So I feel like there's a confusion over witchcraft, the limitations of witchcraft, what it's.
Okay.
Was there any other questions?
That was it. That was the last one.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and thanks
Yeah.
for inviting me on.
Thank you so much. It was really fun, and I truly appreciate your time. And I wish you dark and wild blessings.
Oh, my
Thank you so
pleasure.
much for this.
Beast and Yule tidings to you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
You too, honey. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
And until next time, I wish you dark and wild blessings.